In this lesson, we're going to look at synthetic division as another way of dividing polynomials. But first, let's review what we know about long division. When we have a polynomial, this time it's of degree 5, so this is a quintic, and we're dividing by a linear binomial, we write our polynomial function with 0 placeholders so that the degree goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the constant term divided by x plus 2. And remember, when we divide, we're really only looking at the x term, and we say x times what is 3x to the 5th. So I'll use my text box, and I know x times 3x to the 4th is 3x to the 5th. And I'm going to write that term above the x to the 4th term. And then I take that 3x to the 4th, and I multiply it by both of these terms here. 3x to the 4th times x is 3x to the 5th. We want those to match because we want to eliminate them when we subtract. Now 2 times 3x to the 4th is plus 6x to the 4th. All right, what we do next is we subtract. Now when we subtract, remember we're subtracting off a binomial. And so we're going to change the sign of each one of these things and then add. This is 3x to the 5th and then a negative 3x to the 5th. They cancel out. We design them to cancel. 0 minus 6x to the 4th is negative 6x to the 4th. And then remember, we bring down the next term, a negative 8x cubed. Now, just like before, we're only looking at the x term. X times what is negative 6x to the 4th? X times negative 6x to the 3rd. And then I multiply those two together, and I get negative 6x to the 4th. In this, it's minus 12x cubed. So I'm going to subtract this expression. A negative 6x to the 4th, this becomes a positive 6x to the 4th, they cancel. Negative 8x cubed plus 12x cubed is positive 4x cubed. And then I bring down my plus 2x squared. Go through the same process. What do you multiply x by to get 4x cubed? That's going to be a plus 4x squared. And I go ahead and I take that 4x squared, multiply it by that divisor. I get 4x cubed plus 8x squared. And I subtract and I bring down. So when I subtract, I change the sign and add. These cancel out, and I'm left with negative 6x squared. So my text box, negative 6x squared. And then I bring down my next term. I bring down my minus x. And then x times what is negative 6x squared? X times negative 6x. I multiply those together, almost done with this expression, and I get negative 6x squared. A negative 6x times 2 is negative 12x. And then I subtract and I bring down. Negative, a negative is positive. These cancel. Negative x plus 12x is 11x. Bring down the plus 1. And then last thing I say is x times what is 11x? X times positive 11. And then I multiply that 11 times that divisor, and I get 11x plus 22. And last time that I'm subtracting, I change the signs and I add, and 1 minus 22 is negative 21. So I write negative 21 is my remainder. So remember what we do with our remainder. we write it as a fraction plus, and the fraction is negative 21 over x plus 2. I will put a fraction bar there to remind us that this is a fraction. So that's how we do long division. Now, in the next example, we're going to do the same exact problem, but use synthetic division, okay? So here's how we do that. And this is actually super duper quick. We put in the divisor area a negative 2, because that would be the 0 if x plus 2 is the factor. We put in these lines our coefficients, 3, 0, once again you need 0 placeholders, negative 8, 2, negative 1, and 1. Now, synthetic division is an interesting, quick way of dividing polynomials. I just simply bring down my leading coefficient of 3. I multiply 3 times negative 2, and I get negative 6. What I do next is I add these two together, and 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6. I then multiply negative 6 times negative 2 to get 12. I then add these two together and I get 4. Now you're going to start to see the comparison with the long division. You'll see some of these same numbers that we had in the long division problem. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 2 is 12. 1 minus 12 being negative 11. Oh, excuse me, negative 1 plus 12 being 11. 11 times negative 2 is negative 22. And then when I add my 1 plus negative 22, there is that remainder that we had before. I'll use my drawing tool and I'll just show that this is my remainder. And so what we have is we have the coefficients of the quotient. And so my answer, and I can write it in a text box, is going to be 1 less degree than my dividend. My dividend, remember, was to the 5th degree, so my quotient is going to be to the 4th degree. And then we have minus 6x cubed plus 4x squared minus 6x plus 11. And then we have our remainder plus negative 21 over x plus 2. And you'll notice that answer is the same as what we got earlier using the long division. So synthetic division just gives us a quick way of doing polynomial division, which will be really helpful when we go to look for rational roots.